looking at the examples that we have up here, from buying a house, to something to do with a restaurant, teacher for grading, hockey tryout, doctor and scientist, game show, building a house, grocery store, or buying something, who can explain how one of these connects to mean, median, or mode, and why? Okay, Ella, I'm going to start with you. Which one do you want to explain? Okay, so which one would you use, what would you use for buying a house?
Probably median, because starting with the lowest price house and the highest, you can find one in the middle.
Okay.
Because that might be your best bet, because it's in the middle, but it's not like shabby and it's not really high price.
Okay, so you're going to go for like a middle price one? Okay, can anyone else think of something that they'd like to add? Jenna?
For the restaurant, it's how many you can see how many groups of people are coming to the restaurant.
Okay.
And see if you need to have more tables of 4, more tables of 6, or less tables of 2.
Okay, so if you were working on that concept of tables, let's say, I don't know, let's say that for the restaurant we had, 7 people coming that need tables of 4, and 8 people coming that need tables of 2, and 1 person coming that needs a table of 8. What would you use? Which of the, yes?
Tables of 2.
Okay.
Has the most people.
Okay, so what, did you use mean, median, or mode to figure this out? Okay, and why did you, how will it help, how does mode help you here?
Because mode, you're finding the number that shows up the most.
Okay.
And where you put it, it was 7. So 7, 8, and 1. Which is 8, 2, 7, 4, 1, 8.
Yes.
Then that means that if you wrote it out, then you would.
So what does this information then actually tell me? If it tells me that I have 7 reservations of 4, 8 reservations of 2, and 1 reservation of 8, what does it tell me, Jenna?
Mama.
That's right. And that in terms of the most number of, yes?
Mommy. But. Mommy. Well.
Okay. Who else can think of one of the examples from up there and explain if you would have used mean, median, or mode to figure it out? I'm going to go Jack first, and I'll come over here. So Jack.
For the game show.
Yes?
It might, a question might be,
Yep.
it might be, I'm going to previous. The question might be, 90, 75, 50, and 25.
Okay.
So then you add the numbers, which equal 240.
Yep.
And then you count the groups, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes.
Then you'll divide 240 by 4, and then it equals 60.
Okay, so then what kind of question was that game show asking for?
They're asking you a mean question.
Okay. Yep, sorry.
And then they say find out the average, and then you do all that stuff.
Okay. So you're thinking maybe you could like win big money if you could answer that question on the game show? Anyone else have an idea? I'll go Claire and then come back. So Claire, what were you thinking?
If you were a teacher grading,
Yes.
then you would use probably mean to see the average. So
Okay.
if someone got an A, a B, a B, a C, a B, and an A,
Yeah.
it's likely that the B is their average.
Okay. Now you kind of used a combination of a couple things there. What did Claire use a combination of? Yes?
Mode and mean.
Okay. It's true. If you were to average it, what would you probably end up in?
A B.
But if you were to figure out the mode in that situation, what would you also end up with? I'm curious to know what teachers would do the most of. I actually mentioned this in the staff room today, and some told me that they would use the mean, and some told me that they would use the mode, the most frequently occurring
I
one.
probably use the mean.
Why would you use the mean?
Because it seems an easy way to find it out.
Okay. Who would have used the mode? Okay. Why did you think it was easier to use the mean?
No, actually the mode. Sorry.
Okay.
I was just thinking of the number sets,
Okay.
but that is kind of mode. So
Okay.
basically, because it would be easier to use mode, because you have the number straight in front of you and you just have to circle
Yes.
the one that's most popular,
Yeah.
and you've got your answer. Where the other one, you have to add them up and then count how many numbers they have and then
Yes.
divide them.
Okay. Is there anybody here that would use the mean to figure it out? No? Why would you use the mean? Yeah. Is there anyone that would use the mean? Okay, I wonder, here's an example for you. Take out your books. I'm going to give you some percentages.
Nana, bye.
Let's look. Let's pretend, okay, a person got an A, so they're getting 90%. Then they got, how many B's did they get?
5.
Okay, so I'm going to give the B's, actually, not 80%. I'm going to give the B's 70. 3, 4, 5. And I'm actually going to give one more 90. 7. Okay. And I need 3 C's. I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 10 marks here. If we were to use the mode, what would the person get on their report card as a percent? They get, and they'd end up with a B. Maybe a B minus, but a B. Now, what about the mean? How would we figure out the mean? How would we figure out the mean? I should see way more hands than this. You don't have to tell me the answer, but what would I have to do? I know it's the mean. What if I wanted to use the mean instead? What if I'm a teacher thinks the mean would be a better option? Jack S. Smith, what would you do?
You could add up all 90, 97, 60s,
Yeah.
and then you can divide them, how many numbers there are.
Yeah.
And then you'll find the answer to that.
Okay, so let's see. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 70s, right? So I'm going to do 70 times 5. 0 times 5 is what?
0.
And 7 times 5 is? Okay, so 350. Now, I have 1, 2, 3 60s. 60 times 3. 0 times 3 is? 6 times 3 is?
18.
Okay, so I have to add 180. And then I have 90 times 2. 0 times 2 is?
0.
And 9 times 2 is? Another 180. 0, 0, and 0 makes? Okay, 8 and 8 is? And 16 and 5 more is? Okay. 3 and 2 is?
5.
And 2 more?
7.
Okay, I have 710. And I'm going to divide it by? Yes? Okay. And 10 goes in to, yes?
The answer is 11.
710 divided by 10 is 11. We're putting them, well, think for a minute. You would be close, and I'm glad he made a choice to try to look at it. We have to see what makes the most sense here. So if we were actually going to go through and do it, 10 would go into, well, here,
71
one.
times.
Thank you. So what's the answer?
71 because 10 goes into 110 times.
Yeah?
Add 6 more hundred on
Yes.
70.
Yeah.
Add 10.
Yes? Which makes?
So just make 71.
That was a very interesting way of figuring it out, Mark, and you are correct. With 71, what gives them a higher mark?
Median.
So, if we were giving them a grade, what would they get in both cases? But if we were giving them a percent, what would be the better option?
Doing me.
Why?
Because you probably want your students to get a higher mark as high as you can get them, honestly. So the 71, at least they're getting one more.
And why did they get a higher mark that way than with the mode? Ella?
Because it's more accurate.
Why? What made an impact on mean that did not make an impact with mode? What? Allie? Well, mean had what numbers in it? Right? Those 90s made an impact. The reason it was not much higher is because what else was included in the mean along with those 90s?
60s.
And that made it smaller. And now, thanks to Miss Bishop, I think we have a slightly better understanding of mean, median, and mode.